Hello there, my name is Ben, and I will be walking you through the annotation of the service getProlocDB images by AGI by Dirk Haas at MIPS. You'll notice this is my handle when I log in. I've done one service so far, and you can always get to the help or to the log out section up at the top. When you log out, your current state will be saved so that when you come back, it's all still there. So the first thing to do when you're annotating a service is read up on the service description, if there is any, so that you can get to know what the service does. So ProtlockDB from the Scottish Crop Research Institute provides a collection of images showing the subcellular localizations of numerous partial plant cDNA GFP fusions expressed from a tobacco mosaic virus vector. Okay. It takes as input an AGI locus code object, which means it's just an identifier, called incoming AGI. It produces the out images of data type simple annotated JPEG image in the ProtlockDB image namespace, which means it probably comes from the ProtlockDB. So that's what the service is. Now it's time to do our job of annotating the service. First thing to do is to come in here, click inside there, and start typing. So the first thing we're going to do is try and annotate what this is. And so what is an incoming AGI? It is an identifier. So I type in ID. The type ahead searches through everything we know about that is an ID. I can scroll over and look at the definitions that come up when I mouse over it. When I find what I want, in this case it's the first hit, biological sequence ID, I click on it, it goes into this list down here, and now it's ready to go. Notice that I could have also found that by starting to type sequence. Notice how things change as you type. That's the type ahead style of interface. No point putting it in twice, so I'm going to click on it to get rid of it. Another tag you might want to add to this is perhaps something to do with it being a locus code. Say a locus ID, it's certainly not a locust, the bug, locus ID. But it's not in there, and so this is important. When it's not in there and you really want to say it, go ahead and create it. So now it's in the list. Okay, now moving along to the next part. Now we're annotating this part, out images. See out images here. So what is it? It is an image. I'm not sure if it's a microscopy image. I think it's a biological image for sure. So I'll click on that. Looking back up at the description up here, numerous partial plant. So this is an image of some sort of plant. So how about just putting it in as a plant? Okay, plant. There we go. We have a biological image of a plant. What else do we have up here? Collection of images showing subcellular localization. So how about local cellular location? Okay, now we have cellular location in there. We also have information that it's an image of a GFP staining, but we don't have anything about GFP, so we can go ahead and add it in there. So let's say it's a GFP image. Create new tag. Okay, that looks good enough for that one. So moving on to the service itself. This is a fairly simple service. It's basically just going to go retrieve a record from the database. And so we're going to annotate it as being a retrieving service to start out with. If it was more complicated service involving an algorithm, perhaps an alignment algorithm, you might search for aligning, word match, or Smith-Waterman, and so forth. But it's not, so we'll leave it as retrieving. Resources used. So we want to talk about what resources were used by the service to achieve its task. And in this case, I would say that the one it uses is called ProtlockDB, but doesn't exist. We'll create it. We do have some resources that we know about, such as NCBI, but of course it didn't use NCBI, so we're not going to say that. Okay, now for the most important part. When you're done, when you're happy with the annotations that you've added, all of these blue ones, remember that you can click on them to get rid of them. You have to hit this button to submit them. So when you hit that button, the tags will be stored and another service will be brought up. and the process will repeat. At any point you can click on the help button and it will bring up another window showing some example information. So thank you very much for your participation. Good luck.